This episode is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network.
Hey guys, welcome to Honest Trailer Commentaries, the show where we talk about the show that talks about other people's movies. I am Spencer J. Gilbert, flanked as always by Joe Starr.
Hello.
And Dan Murrell.
Hello.
And we are talking today about the Honest Trailer for Return of the Jedi. The final Attack of the Gungan Senate. This is the final Star Wars movie, I think, that we haven't done, if you don't count like the Ewok ones.
And I do. The animated ones.
And the animated ones. But it's just in time for another Star Wars movie to come out, which in the future where this video comes out, you will have already seen. What do you think, Dan? Do you like it?
I predict that I had thoughts on the movie that others disagreed with, and that the conversation around it became more about the differences than the good things.
Safe bet. There's some consensus that is formed about Return of the Jedi in the several decades since it came out. Mm-hmm. It's known as it's not too many people's favorite of the original trilogy. Yeah. I don't think it's a bad movie by any stretch. My hunch is that we were maybe a little too hard on this in the Honest Trailer, but there's a lot to make fun of.
Yeah.
There is.
I mean, I grew up in a time where there were only, up until 1999, where there were only 3 Star Wars movies, so there really wasn't any latitude for there to be a bad one. They were all just great.
They're all just Star Wars.
It was Star Wars. They were all just Star Wars. Star Wars was one thing, and that was the thing that it was all one.
Yeah.
And it was great.
It's like 95% of the books are unreadable, but they're Star Wars.
It's Star Wars, yeah. And so I feel like the Jedi, now that we have more to compare and contrast it against, and there's more to Star Wars now, I feel like Jedi is now getting its true analysis. It's okay. I've always thought it was fine. Like when I grew up, I always liked watching the first 2 more than Return of the Jedi.
Yeah. Now, because there's a part that I really love, which is like the final lightsaber duel between. I love the climax.
That is my favorite lightsaber fight of all the movies.
So it leaves me like feeling pretty good, but everything up to that, it's so sequence oriented, and then it's not about like character moments or scenes. It's like the first 30 minutes is like rescuing Han, and then the next 45 minutes are about like Endor and the Ewoks, and like they're just these really extended. It kind of feels more like an Indiana Jones movie almost, where it's really actiony and cartoony almost.
Yeah, it kind of feels like filler sometimes. It's like George Lucas had to resolve the Luke and Vader thing, and he had a really good beginning and a really good end, and then the middle is this kind of a mishmash of just weird
He's
stuff.
My favorite Ewok too.
Yeah,
Mishmash.
Yeah, Mishmash. Oh, I love Mishmash.
Yeah.
He is the tenor in the Yub Nub song. When you sort of start reading about this movie, about how like George Lucas, obviously it's hard to talk ill of the guy who's self-financing these movies, but I know that there was so much stress for him after Empire went way over budget and stuff like that. But this movie feels like a very kind of keeping the pocketbook shut as much as he could kind of movie. Like he was definitely, for whatever reason, terrified that he'd lose money.
It's strange because there's no more guaranteed hit than like the finale of Star Wars.
Yeah, at this point it's money printing. But yeah, this one definitely feels like, I don't know, like from literally the choice of, it was going to be Wookiees or something similar. And he's like, what if they were 1 foot tall and cuter?
I think that there was the story reason for it not being Wookiees was that like they were through Chewbacca had been shown to be too advanced already. So like they wanted the lower on the technology pole species. So they made him cute. Anyways, why don't we watch the Honest Trailer for Empire Strikes Jedi and comment on it?
Today's episode is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network.
That's our sponsor.
Yes. You saw them earlier.
Yeah.
A New Hope blew people's minds. The Empire Strikes Back challenged what you thought a sequel could be. Now, the last chapter of the original trilogy takes its place in history as the third one. Star Wars, Return of the Jedi.
I missed
Pause.
this response.
Question. Did you write that in the script as a way for Honest Trailers to have officially determined that Star Wars Return of the Jedi is a 6-word title?
I'll leave that up to the judges. It's they allowed it, so I'm gonna allow it too.
There you go.
6 words.
I didn't know if you were slyly writing it that way to be like,
I actually didn't, but clearly that's how I remember it.
That's true.
I remember it as a
Star
6
Wars
word
Return of
movie.
the Jedi.
So there we go.
there you go. All right.
It was honest.
Continue.
Keep going.
Sorry, had to ask.
From creative visionary George Lucas, and once Spielberg, Lynch, and Cronenberg passed, the cheapest director he could find
Those would have been fun.
comes a film
Yes.
that had to live up to impossibly high expectations, and said, screw it, we're making a kids movie full of burp gags, slapstick comedy, and Boba Fett going out like Wile E. Coyote
Oh man, he sucks.
in a finale that's almost silly enough to make you question why your identity is so tied to a soap opera about space wizards. That's it. I'm a Trekkie now.
What does God need with a starship?
Dan, you picked that one specifically.
That was a hand.
Never mind.
Pause.
The low point
That was
of
a
Star Trek?
hand-picked. Yes, that joke was written. No, I'm gonna. It just said
Insert
cheesy.
dumb Star
dumb
Trek
Star
thing.
Trek clip, and I was like, well, if you're in the market for a dumb Star Trek clip, there's nothing better than what does God need with the starship from the end of Star Trek. Not the only time, unfortunately, that the series has gotten far too ponderous and up its own butt. I know I can already tell that there are going to be people that push back on us showing that clip from the Jabba Palace singing thing because they're like, well, that's the special edition. The special editions have been out longer now than Jedi, believe it or not, than Jedi was. So
That's Star Wars now.
that's Star Wars now. That's George Lucas's choice. So it's canon. I mean, we go into it, but I think I would wager that now, as people under 25, more people know the special edition as Return of the Jedi.
Well, it's like, look, if you prefer the originals, like as they were released theatrically, you can't buy them.
No.
You have to go to the dark web and trade a
with
Bitcoin
your-
for a bag of
yeah.
heroin. Exchange that for the unaltered cut. So good luck.
yeah, I mean, I think there's like one unmastered DVD and then VHSs, and that's if you want, and except for like the despecialized editions, which are amazing, but that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I know there'll be a lot of people saying like, "Well, you can't judge it by that." Like,
Yeah,
well,
you
George
can.
Lucas says you can, so
And
we
we're
got
literally
no other
not
choice.
allowed or can't find, we could find if we really wanted
Yeah.
to, like, woo, but we can't show the despecialized. We couldn't go off of that.
No.
Anyways, let's keep going in this trailer.
Ugh, never mind. All your favorite heroes have returned, like Luke, who's grown from naive farm boy to goth Catholic priest. Han, who was already so over Star Wars, they had him frozen in case he didn't bother to show up. Leia,
True
who's
story.
suddenly Luke's sister.
I know. Somehow, I've always known.
You have? Well, that makes this extra weird then.
Pause.
Plus,
Very. Pause.
So the next trilogy was going to be about Luke finding
his sister. That is one of the urban.
Well, that's how he had it planned out.
Oh, okay.
But then George
Isn't there
Lucas
like an
was
interview
like,
where Mark Hamill says that, or
I think it's like in his even beforehand in his notes in the Willis Journal of the Willis
Journal of the
days,
Willis, yes.
where he really did. He planned to introduce Luke's sister in the next trilogy, but he was like, I'm really tired of these films. I really am
really done with this.
more
It's
interested.
sad that we didn't get to see like Gina Davis as a Skywalker.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's the reason that Leia is his sister, is because there was no other women to choose from in the galaxy.
Her Mon Mothma.
Or it's her Mon Mothma. So all right, Leia. That's Leia.
Let's just. Oh wait, they did. People won't remember.
Another one.
I always just remember David Brent from The Office. Like they won't remember.
Yeah.
Man, yeah.
All right, keep going.
Yeah.
this extra weird then. Plus, an all-new cast of memorable characters like, her. Salacious Crumb's kind of fun. And, Gronk? Sure, why not?
That's confirmation that
pause that
droids
real
do
quick.
feel pain.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
So just something we set up in the New Hope one is that, like, wow, they really do feel emotions and have physical sensations, but are bought and sold as slaves and
No one
tortured.
seems to care.
Yeah.
Hooray!
Tatooine.
Also,
and to those that would say Return of the Jedi introduced Jabba the Hutt, again, The
New
official
Hope.
version that we've been given is that he wasn't. So don't complain to us.
And he was a wacky comedy guy way before that in the movie that takes place before any of these in Phantom Menace when he MCs the pod race.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He falls asleep once, and he's so funny.
True. Oh, and
Also-
God knows what they're gonna do to him in the Han Solo movie.
Oh boy.
I mean, because he's got
Hopefully
he's
better
gonna
things.
be in it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He's gonna be in it.
Oh yeah,
Jabba?
young hot Jabba.
100%.
Young
Hot Jabba.
He's got a switchblade comb.
Yeah.
Lucas really into Twi'lek sex slaves too. Is
there more than one?
Because Sebulba has a bunch in Phantom Menace that are rubbing his shoulders and fixing his toenails for some reason. And
The fewer questions you ask about Tatooine society, the better. I think the
Yes,
Empire
what
should
stays-
have blown it up.
Yeah.
That's all. Forget Alderaan looked like it had a lot to offer. Tatooine, I think, was the much
Scum and
stronger
villainy.
choice. Yeah.
All right, keep going.
Not. Before there was Jar Jar, the object of fans' blind rage was the Ewoks, a race of cuddly creatures inspired by puppy dogs, bear cubs, and toy sales, who Lucas loved so much they got 2 spin-off movies. 2.
To Utah.
oh Wilfred.
The discerning fans
That movie's
hated
crazy,
because
by
there's
the way.
no way the mighty Empire would struggle against a smaller, poorly armed force. What do you think this is? Vietnam? Afghanistan? Little Big Horn? The American Revolution? The Maori? Ethiopia? Afghanistan? Again? Set aside
Sure, we're
a
gonna
special
guess.
place in
A
hell
lot of
for Jedi
really
Special Edition.
pause
JP.
for a second. Some real self-educated geopolitics experts weighing in on that one.
Really
This is
excited.
this is a new flavor of you that I enjoy because I was unfortunately not here. I get to witness the history lesson that you taught about Wonder Woman. I love that you're sneaking in historical facts to these things now.
You know, look, I don't claim to be an expert, but I think that if you look to history, there are multiple examples of indigenous people defending what they believe is their homeland, doing very well against a technologically superior, well-funded force.
And it's weird how you can just use broad but accurate examples, combine them with humor to make a point.
Yeah.
Or a joke. You know, if you're actually interested in this, you shouldn't be watching it through the lens of Return of the Jedi. Maybe read a book.
It's fair.
It's true.
Yeah.
The novelization of Return of the Jedi. for
Exactly. Perfect. I'm sure that goes very much
way
into how
more
much of an underdog they were.
Yes, and then so Afghanistan. The first time is referring to the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan.
Yeah.
No one has really successfully.
As seen in Rambo 3.
Alexander the Great, sort of, but there's it's a tough place to conquer, no matter how much money and tanks you got. So all this and more on Honest History, a show I will never be doing.
So to put this into words, it would be, what do you think this is? Rambo 3, The Patriot. I'm just trying to translate it into easily digestible movie versions. Of
Yeah,
all of
that probably would have been better.
Yeah.
Okay.
well.
Just food for thought.
I mean, Mel Gibson took on the British with a tomahawk.
Yeah, come on, guys.
He didn't even need 2 logs.
Oh my
to
gosh!
go.
And then Braveheart. Don't even get me started on William Wallace. I'm sure we'll do that on his trailer eventually.
He was my college roommate's descendant.
William Wallace?
My college roommate was just this dude from the Sticks whose name was Wallace. That was his first name, and that was the first thing he
First
told me
name?
when I met him. I was like, Wallace, nice to meet you. He was like, yeah, man. You ever seen Braveheart? I was like, yes. He's like, guy's like my great grandpa. It's like, okay.
There's so many things wrong with that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's continue.
Hope you're good, Wallace.
Again? Set aside a special place in hell for Jedi Special Edition that not only adds the same bad CG as the other 2, but tons of crap that's only there to remind you of the prequels, like Guns. Extra
Wisa free.
nose.
Visa free.
Hayden Christensen's, and the criminal erasure of the Yub Nub song. An entire generation will grow up with that awful Jedi Rocks number, but never know the brilliance of John Williams' Yub Nub song. For shame.
Yep, no.
So return to Star Wars with Return of the Jedi, a movie that joins Godfather 3, Terminator 3, and Spider-Man 3 in the tradition of meh third installments that turned an
better
epic
than all
about the
those.
fate of the
Yes.
galaxy
Yeah.
into the Skywalker family drama, cemented the kid-friendly tone of the franchise, and set up Star Wars' long-running love affair with the plot of A New Hope.
The battle station.
The Emperor's new battle station.
The droid control ship.
Starr Killer Base.
Death Star.
We're starting our attack run.
Stay alert. We could run out of space real fast.
Just hang on.
I'm going in. We're
Love
going in.
penetrating those trenches. Gotta be on the desert
Yeah,
planet.
it's like poetry, so if they rhyme, every stanza kind of rhymes with the last one.
Oh, I love that
Hopefully it'll
documentary.
work.
It's so good.
Yep.
Everyone's just dead-eyed.
It did. Starring My Midi-Chlorical Romance,
I've got a bored feeling about this.
Sonny D. Williams, Ballsack Forceman, Captain
Lon Harrison
Phasma, Sister, Ghost Dad, Harmonica Solo, Teddy Suxpin, Nayan, this little guy, Parliament Trunkadelic, and Slug Life. Star Wars 3, Episode 6 out of 9.
I love the Roman
possibly
numerals.
12.
Yes.
Just a word of advice to Daisy Ridley. If you see Lucas talking to the wardrobe department, run.
Came together really well.
Yeah. Nice. So,
Oh, man.
final thoughts?
Jedi.
Man, those, that Yub Nub, that's a scab you don't want picked, is just that weird ending he plopped in. Because for one thing, the thing just blew up, and all of a sudden on Coruscant, there's just a big party. That's not what would be happening.
Well, and the thing that most people don't get or even remember is that the special editions came out before the Phantom Menace came out. So he added all that stuff of like the Gungans and Naboo and Coruscant.
I didn't think I
he
realized
added
that.
shots of that before the prequels came out. So it's like you're seeing now Return of the Jedi ended with these shots on a planets that you didn't get or were like, what?
Or were
What
those
is-
added as like a further specialized thing?
I'm almost sure those
that
were
was
added
I
in
remember
the theatrical versions.
Because that's
It's
the
like, what
versions
is
I've
this?
watched the most was the VHS triple
Yeah.
special edition set, and just I remember at the time being very impressed by the CGI because
You're like, what?
whoa, wow, cool.
I have no Star Wars timeline in my head. Like, at this point, I've seen all of these things enough that there's just a mass of my life that's just Star Wars stuff. Like, I don't remember dates or order of things.
Now, Hayden Christensen, I believe, was not that was a post-theatrical special edition.
Okay,
edition. They've been monkeyed with. I mean, even the Blu-rays, they monkeyed with them some more and put rocks in where there weren't rocks before. It was a whole. I don't even know what they're doing anymore with them. And the extra nose were added for the Blu-ray.
Okay.
Which is like, why? It's 10 years after that's the most ridiculed part of the Phantom Menace, and you add whatever.
What does it add to that
It's
moment?
nothing. Nothing. It takes it away from it. Anyway, it's dumb. It's stupid. I don't get it. Whatever. It's.
Couldn't have said it any better myself. Dan, thank you so much for being here.
Of course.
Joe, do we have a clip?
Yeah, we got
some
deleted.
outtakes.
Oh, do we have
Yeah, we got
outtakes?
things.
Spin that back.
outtakes.
I thought we used it all. Let's see some outtakes.
Oh yeah, we have starrings at least.
Check it out.
Watch the gang get back together in a daring raid to save Han Solo from the guy Han Solo totally ripped off,
Tell Jabba that I've got his money.
where Luke sends everyone he loves on a mission as dangerous as it is unnecessary. Because he's just gonna show up and kill everyone with a lightsaber anyway. But at least he gave a generation of moisture farmers Princess Leia's iconic slave outfit. Yep, nothing nerd culture loves more than a powerful woman being reduced to the personal plaything of a fat slug. Note to Ray, if you see George Lucas talking to wardrobe, run.
Yeah, I think that was the part we all liked, and
Yeah.
it's just very plotty. It's just kind of describing the first scene of the movie. So it's not. Well, now here you get to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Leia, who's suddenly Luke's sister, reducing Luke's human-female dating pool down to one Mon Mothma. Starring Darth Haircut, Darth Hideous, Fetty Plop, Only You Can Prevent Forest Fires, Stabbington Bear, Zoo Fighters, and Dee's Huts. Starring all of these weird people we spotted in the background
that's right.
because we're running out of funny names for the same characters.
No, we always have more funny
This
names,
dude
Joe.
dressed as a stormtrooper surrendering to stormtroopers. This giant praying mantis alien we watch a whole movie about. This random Jedi in Jabba's palace. The drunkest aunt at the wedding reception. Alf's dad, Cthulhu. And Palpatine's purple Pope pals.
I know you're particularly fond of that.
Yeah.
Featuring
those
Star
guys.
Wars. Parenthood.
I have a lot
Daddy's
of
Home.
these.
Yes. Bong.
In his belly, you will find a new definition of pain and suffering.
as you are slowly digested over 1,000 years.
How can you be slowly digested over thousands of years? I mean, wouldn't you still die of old age at some point? Is the Sarlacc keeping you alive beyond your actual lifespan just to torment you? That is messed up.
Yeah, there you go.
Interesting observations. Yeah. So yeah, I guess we had a lot of extra things. Just go back and say video starts here, and people link to.
You're gonna watch it.
Yeah. Other than that,
This is a very average movie with some good things in it. Some of my favorite Star Wars stuff in it, but overall,
yeah, it's an entertaining movie. It feels like to me, it feels more like an Indiana Jones sequel. It's just like a space adventure with like a great character wrap-up moment at the end with that lightsaber fight, but otherwise it's just a fun romp.
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. It's no Last Jedi, I think. I don't know. We haven't seen it yet.
It's everything The Last Jedi wasn't, or it's everything The Last Jedi was. Or, I don't know.
Spoiler alert. All right, guys. We will be back next week with another wild adventure.
Ooh.
Very wild.
Yeah. And
Might be great, might be bad. Just have to roll the dice.
Nice, Joe.
Good.
And as always, signing off for Honest Trailer Commentaries. Bye-bye.
This episode was brought to you by T-Mobile. Switch to America's best unlimited network.